Hello trainers, Joe Carswell here with another training tip. This one is a lift and carry tower that we used to use to evaluate our students on material handling. We had this problem constantly of having to figure out a way to assess our students on certain things that were not direct tool training. Material handling is a huge part of the job, and we had to certify them that they could do this effectively, and the lift and carry tower was a perfect way to do it. We do it early in the program, so they'd have a little safety, not a lot of tool training. They would have some tape measure and some level experience. Great place for them to use those skills and kind of hone them. They'd have a simple set of plans, and they would start with some simple materials that we were using in the program anyway. That would be some 2x4x8s. They would have some OSB panels, and we would also have a set of concrete blocks around that would become sort of the pillars of the tower. They would build this in layers. The really important setup was that they had to measure, based on this set of instructions, the placement of the concrete block pillars or footings, if I can use that term, and they would use 2x4s to sort of thread through the voids in the concrete blocks, and the OSB panels would be laid on top of the 2x4s. So without any tools, the students could create this 6-foot tall tower using teamwork and just lift and carrying skills with a little bit of level work and definitely some measuring. To set this activity up, the materials need to be nowhere near the tower that they're building. This gives this opportunity for the students to have to transport those materials. It also gives you an opportunity to give them some hints and pointers on how to do that safely. If I was feeling a little mean that day, or the students needed a challenge, we would set up some flags or some obstacles that they would have to work around, and that would add to the complexity of the build. And it gives the students a challenge. This is real world stuff. When they're on the job site, it's not a straight shot from where your lumber stack is to where you're actually going to attach that material. This tower would get built, like I said, according to the plans. They'd have some instructions, and they would have to measure out and sort of gain some accuracy with their tower. And we would have several towers built. We'd have teams of students. They'd like to work in, say, teams of 4, and maybe one person would be plan reading. And giving them the problem to solve seemed to take their mind off of the drudgery of just doing lift and carry practice. That was never a real hit with the students, but you add the tower build into it, and the students would do it very willingly, and they actually liked the project. The other benefit is that these materials are getting reused, so they're not only carrying them to set up the tower, it gets disassembled immediately after they're done. So that is a sort of double practice in lifting and carrying. That's a benefit. And also they're getting all of these other skills, whether it's working with their tape measures, the teamwork aspect, maybe they're moving things in pairs, and they're also having to solve this problem based on a set of instructions, which, let's face it, that's plan reading. So a very effective way to do lift and carry. I often get a lot of questions, what kind of activity can I do to give my students practice in this particular part of the program, which you then have to pass them, certify them, or assess them by the end of the whole program. So I hope that makes sense. Give it a try. I think you'll like it. If you need more information on that particular activity, go to our Teach Construction catalog. You'll find that and many other activities you can do with your students to enhance their skills. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in the field.